Hello, 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 everyone. Good morning. Happy Thursday, July 7th. Already July 7th. How is everyone doing today? Good morning, Davy. Good morning, Amit. Hello, Waka Waka. Good morning, Connor. Good morning, Patrick. Gosh darn tenants being demanding, getting in the way of a perfectly good trading week. Market's flat, almost like it's ready to drop. Don't know. Not seeing much unless something surprise comes out. We do have Fed speak today around noon, but we could still get some push higher with the cycles. That's what I'm watching for today. Good morning, and there's lots of support below. Good morning, Dr. Michael. We'll get into that in a second. After any new people do consider subscribing, ringing that bell and hitting the like button. Longer term subscribers, leave some comments. Let's get this to 5K subscribers coming up shortly. So that's the big push. All right. All right. Where do we sit? Well, you know what? I didn't even have my economic calendar up. We had the ADP employment change number minor, but the initial jobless claims creeping up, continuing jobless claims keeping up. Keep an eye on this one over the next few months. There's a very reliable recession indicator if this was going to hit, and this is based off a percentage change from the absolute low, but it's around 1456, I think. So if we see 1456K, it's another very reliable recession indicator. So do keep an eye on that over the next little while. We got crude stuff coming out, starting to watch for a bottom in crude. And then we got noon Chicago time, noon Central time. We got some Fed speak. So not much else today that's really can move the markets besides the Fed speak, or if something sudden comes out. Mixed, pretty much quiet to slightly up, mixed pre-market. FOMC's back to 96.3, baking in that 75 basis point hike. Still in negative Garmin territory, but overall pretty much quiet. What I'm watching, again, daily cycles. Gonna start. Let's get back to S&P. Getting in the top area, but no, not close to a rollover yet. So we could at least see some more follow through today. Quiet overnight session. Coming back down, holding the 1 hour rotation zone. Edging on up. Do we have a potential double top here? It's very sloppy on the 1 hour, almost to the point it's untradeable, and it's pushing up here. And the problem is this big support ledge, so I would not be using it. If you do start breaking down below about this 38.37, then I'm going to be focused on the middle of the channel. And if you break below that, my breakdown zone now is right around 38.18, and I'll be watching then for the reversal play into this clear path move. So that's what I'm focused on, but there's a lot of support areas in here. So even on sell-offs, for me, it's not time to get bearish. It would just be back into some key support areas, especially, with where the cycles are on the daily. To the upside, I'm using the major harmonic level. Let's just see where the minor harmonics fall off of the overall low. So this gives me a target area of 38.92 to about 38.98 to the upside, and that's on a break above 37.85. The minor levels, we're already trading above them on the open, but I'm going to be watching on any pullback for this 1 hour rotation zone to hold, and then a potential rotation back up. Not until we really get below this 38.50 level with some selling pressure do I even start watching for that bigger pullback. Because right now we're just basing, and we're basing right between, we've already tested the flattening out rotation zone once. And so I'm going to continue watching for some higher prices. And if we do close above this 62.5 today, you know the magic of that number. Not guaranteed, but 38.72.75. We get a close above there. Then I'm going to watch for a retest of this high area. 39.24 would be the first major target there. So The market could be coiling up for a break. That's what I'm watching. But again, I can't get super bearish until we get a topping pattern. We could easily come up here and then hopefully make some better topping pattern before a rollover move, and can't again get super bearish until we really get below 37.80 again, because there is a fair amount of support. Now we start run up, especially closer to this 4,039.88 and form a bigger topping pattern. That's when I'll really start shifting into looking for bearish plays. So, hey, Christoph, good morning, Lauren, good morning, Josh. Let's not get to NASDAQ. NASDAQ again, holding up, little weaker. So I need to see some momentum on the open above about 11,950, 11,950. I'm watching a little lower on this, more of the 1 hour rotation zone to pull back to 11,850 if we do pull back for key support. And the end of day is about 11. What's this? I hate when there's a line there. It's around 11,919. So that's where I'm watching the upside, and then that would be to another push higher. Major support, if we did have a sell-off, is back at about 11,760 to about 11,771 on a pullback. But again, daily cycles getting to the top area, but not yet rolling over, not yet an overbought condition. So, and weekly, by the way, you see weekly still sitting at this top. And remember, the weekly rotation zones are just overhead, and we could easily peek into them again before the rollover play. Dow up, sitting right by these two highs. So not a double top, just two stronger highs up here. Again, this is lower probability double because it's really flat area. So if we do break down, minor for me is about 31,070 area. Major is about 30,000 or 31,000. If we did, then I'd be watching for the midpoint of this channel to break. To the upside, my next target is easy, 31,285 area, which is a 62.5. Then above there, you hit the breakdown zone about 31,363, and then we got this significant cluster overhead. Russell also, this is not yet breaking out, so my key area I'm watching is this little resistance shelf confirmed here. Tried to poke it above it a couple times, but I need to get some momentum around above 1742 area to really focus on that. To the upside break, DAX, little recovery move so far. Back to the 1 hour rotation zone. Cycle's still not at the top, so there's nothing but short-term plays. Pretty significant resistance shelf around 12,850. We did break above that. Then you have a prior support shelf about 12,925 to about 12,947. So it is still some upside play potential. What would change it on the DAX for me is if we start breaking below about 12,700. Crude, watching for this move here. We're getting cycles to the bottom. We got the aggressive buy on a daily close above yesterday's high. And remember, key, this is a very strong support level with weekly cycles getting to the low. And remember, I need a weekly close below this level. Even if we roll back over and try on a flush out move, unless there's a weekly close below that level, not touching that double with cycles at the bottom, leaning towards a more bullish play. I think this is very overdone. And we have that percent B buy, and you see the divergence down here. So even on a pop, it'll probably give a couple entries for a longer potential play. But this is, I take rotation zone with a slight grain of salt. I'm more interested at the breakdown zone right here for the key resistance because we are in larger term consolidation. Again, you got a little pop also in natural gas, trying to get back above the daily rotation zone. By the way, this is now too many bottoms in there. Can't use those targets, so now we shift to the more of the clear path targets with the breakdown zone. So watching for a pop play above there also. Gold and silver trying to put in some bottoms. We'll get to some other stuff in a second, but not major plays yet. Notes, we continued with this pullback, which is wonderful. Testing this daily rotation zone. If we do break below this about 118.15, next major support to me is 117.31 to 118.06. Nothing doing from the short side for me, though. Watching for a play back up, get these cycles to get down to the bottom on the daily. Cycle's not at the top of the weekly, and you see this reaction in the rotation zone, and we do have this on a pullback and a rotation back up, a inverse head and shoulders. That's when I start getting really bullish if that triggers on the daily and weekly basis. Dollar index, slight pullback, pausing at this harmonic. I updated the next harmonics on a push higher. 107.55, 108.40 are the next key harmonics up there. On any pullback, I'm paying attention to this 4-hour rotation zone. We start breaking below this little support shelf, then I'm watching the bottom and this other support shelf coming in about 106.20. VIX, watching for the potential breakdown play. Pre-market is below this prior support area and yesterday's low. So 26 and then 25.50, we start really breaking down and don't really get a gap fill on this, then I'm watching. I'll keep going with the bullish plays in the stock indices. Let's get to Tesla. Tesla, pre-market up slightly. Remember, we have the triggered double bottom play, so there's really not much to talk about. Keep an eye this. If Tesla were to reverse, all right, if Tesla were to reverse, you got this double top play in play, but that I need at least a 15-minute close below 681.64, 672, 668, and 662.60 areas. But the probabilities still favor 707.75, 716.27, 727.80. Let's see. Yeah, I saw that. We don't need to talk. I mean, the guy, I'm not going to comment because you already know what I think. Yeah, I like that, though, Elon with another pump and dump. Well, that seems to be what he's good at. The good old pump and dump. I see Q2 getting interesting. That's why long-term I'm still very bearish, but short-term got to play the patterns. Got nice reversal in ags, bearish beams between, looking at very tight 2023 carryout, fundamentally still very bullish. We're finally getting the nicer bounce back after oversold conditions, but this needs to do some heavy lifting, and still no great bottoming pattern here. This was a very weak horizontal channel bottom, so we'll watch for a more substantial. That was corn. This double, of course, off the table with this sell-off. But aggressive buy here, but you're running into key support. There's no strong bottom yet in a lot of these grains. And we still hit that first target with wheat on the pullback. I'm still watching for another potential rollover play and then a more bullish move with the grains. Let's get back to the main stuff. Let's take a look at the Qs. The Qs, remember, just that close. Look at that close with that 62.5 right there. But the next target's up 291.50 and then 293.80. Key support. Again, still watching for the move. I'm watching back around 286.15 for key support. Cycles getting to the top, but not yet rolling over. It's the more which stocks have earning compression. Sterling. It's not how many. It's with some of the key players start getting earnings compression. That's where, and sometimes it takes longer. It takes the market's slow to react, and you still have. I mean, the streets already gearing up. I think for more recessionary plays. It's still retail that's rushing into the big and the mega cap stocks. So keep that in mind. Good morning, George. Is Palantir reversing. Please fix that. Is Palantir reversing? We still have against this channel upline, which was I was watching, but it's all going to depend. I don't have the breakdown play below until it gets below 872. And this is sloppier because it cuts through this, but I'm using these targets with the bottom of the channel line. If you want a pre-warning sign, you start getting below about 957. I'd watch for that slightly bigger pullback. But if the NAS keeps running, you could easily still see another push higher. Higher up in here, it's, you know, we filled that gap. You filled this little gap finally, and you're up against major overhead resistance, but you could still see one more push higher, especially with where cycles are. All right, what else do we want to look at? Let me just glance at the spiders. Again, bounce off that rotation zone 62.5. So targets, again, this 385.50 and then 388 roughly to the upside. Key support coming back in at 380.40. I'm not seeing much else. I'm focused on some crude stuff, and just if we really get that push higher in the stocks, playing stuff to the upside for the next little push up before a more substantial rollover play. Let me just glance at a couple things. Apple, again, I'm on the push higher. Apple, you got major target coming in about 145.57. Would you say the bottom of the SPY is good? That's a better question for after hours, Chris. Ask me again after hours. All right, I'm going to wrap this one up. I got some more prep to do, and it's sort of quiet with a slight upwards bias today. So even if we get some pullback plays, nothing. I can't get super bearish on pullback plays for the time being, again, unless we start breaking below some of these key support shelves. You are welcome. Again, Chris, remind me about that question. We'll take a look at it longer term, maybe do that this afternoon. With that, I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you, everyone, for being here. If you don't have any great setups, sit on your hands. If you do, take advantage of them and always manage your reward and risk. Talk to everyone later. Bye.